Sorry, I had to go so earlier. Uh, so, so we would go jump out to we would go run out and dive into the field right next to the main road, right? And you'd have this flame burning across the road. And these people would be yelling and screaming, "Who's out there? Don't let me catch you!" And me and James, just little kids, man, we were just giggling and trying to be quiet. Never did get caught, but we did. They did come into the. I believe that somebody did try to come in the field at one point, and we was like, "All right, that's enough. We're not doing this no more." It's like we've learned our lesson. We've had fun now. We're done. We're not gonna do this. But that's the kind of crazy stuff that we used to do as kids. It was fun. Uh, Skateboarding. James and I had so much fun skateboarding. We had this buddy. His name was Jonathan Langdon, and Jonathan was such a cool kid. I think I dated his daughter for a little, or his not his daughter, his sister. I think I dated her for a little bit, and I didn't know how to date. I was just a kid, you know, you know, little kissy here, a little kissy there. That was it. I didn't know how to deal with girls and things of that nature. Hell, I still don't know how to deal with them. I've been married 23, 24 years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
But no, it was interesting. And we always played, board games and Army. Man, we used to do some crazy stuff, dude. Where I live, Will, hockey was a big deal. And his brother Mikey, used to play goalie for the high school. So he came home from practice one time. He had all this gear, and James and I, we were just kids, and we were like, dude, you know what? Let's go out here and see how hard we can throw these balls at each other. So we got a couple baseballs, and we started out with these hockey pads on, the random shoulder pads with the chest protector and things of that nature. And we grabbed a couple baseball gloves. And we went out there, and I think that's where I learned how to be very accurate when I was throwing a baseball. Because I'm telling you, even to this day with a bad shoulder, Will, if you threw a ball to me, I promise I could throw it back at a distance and hit. Whatever I'm aiming at, I'll hit. It's just a laser because we used to throw these balls so hard at each other, and the point was to hit them. It wasn't. It wasn't to, hey, can you catch this? No, it became a game of like Tron. Way back when they had Tron, it became a game like that. Like we weren't throwing discs, we were throwing baseballs, like Major League baseballs, as hard as we could. And if you didn't catch it, the game was we made up the game. The game is you had to catch it. It had to hit the ground. So if it hit you or anything, that was like, yes, I hit them. But the thing is, it was like, and we would do this all the way into the dark. So we'd be whipping this ball at like 3 a.m. when it's misting outside. You could barely run around the yard without sliding all over the place. And those are the kind of things we did as kids. That was entertaining for us, and we'd do it for hours. And then we go back in and talk about it, like 30, 40 minutes. And then we'd get to reading or we'd do something else. But we were just, great old American kids that, we got in a little bit of trouble. And, we learned a lot of good lessons, and we learned from each other. And it's just great. And I talk to him, and he's got his own family. I've got my own family. We all turned out well. James, he ended up working. I don't know if I should be putting all this out there, but he ended up working for Apple. I think he went for Macintosh. Very, very intelligent kid. So it was interesting, and yeah, that kind of closes out the James Haru, the Joe experience. I mean, we had a lot more fun doing that, but I think it's time to probably move on to the next level. Thank you. Isn't that awesome? My wife found me in the parking lot of an Exxon and brought me a Starbucks coffee.
great, man. That's great.
Yeah. So yeah, I called her. I called her back. That's why I had to cut off because I had to. She was calling. She had to go to a doctor's appointment, but they canceled it.
Right.
Because they canceled it because we were around a positive COVID person. So we gotta wait. So we gotta wait 5 days before we can run around and do what we gotta do.
So let me ask you something real quick.
Yeah.
So what is your sound that you have going on? Where is the microphone, or how am I getting your sound?
You're getting my sound through my truck. So is that not good or is that bad or do we need to change it?
It is not bad. I was just trying to analyze it because it's not good. I'll put it that way. It's not bad, but I was just wondering if it could be better. It sounds as if. Is there a way that when we're doing this that you could maybe just talk into the phone microphone itself, because you're going to be doing most of the talking.
Right. I can do that, or most of the time when I'm talking, I'm driving because in my mind is allowed to wander a little bit, and it takes the focus off my daily life. I'll tell you what, I'll go purchase me a little mount to where I can mount the phone, and I'll just turn off the radio, and I'll just talk into the phone. Because what happens is my phone connects to the vehicle, but I can disconnect the phone from the vehicle.
Right.
Or I can go. I'll figure it out. We'll get that squared away. Just don't put that in our video. Don't put that in the video.
Yeah. Let me add another option to you. Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna add an old school set of headphones. Apple headphones, or any headphones that have the microphone on it, not wireless, old school, plug it in the bottom of your phone, headphones with a microphone. Those that's the premium. The reason is you can.
I can't plug into the bottom of this. I have no jack for this.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, no problem. Then the other thing, I was trying to go easy. Okay, so the other thing is a set of nice headphones that are wireless. Like I use my Apple earbuds. I have the nice set of Apple earbuds that I love, and that's what I use most of the time.
So I could do that. I have some Samsung.
There you
go. By AKGs that I could put in my ears.
That's our solution right there. Okay, so next time let's try that. Let's charge them up and make sure.
Oh, they're charged. They're ready to go.
There you go.
So we'll do that, or I can continue. I can continue to do. I mean, I know there's going to be a point where I want to get some more people on to kind of share some of these memories.
Right.
So it may go backwards, dude. We're not recording anymore, are we?
Yeah, we're recording.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're just going to have to cut some of that stuff out. But yeah, I mean, I'd like to go back. I've got some embarrassing things that happened to me when I was a child that I would like to go back and talk about.
Yeah.
I used to eat out of trash cans when I was a kid because my parent wasn't taking care of us kids. He wasn't there. After he got out of the Navy, my parents separated and we stayed in California, my brothers and I, and they fed us once a day basically, and it wasn't much. And we didn't have any running water in the house. I mean, we had a really nice house. And, everything was good until they got divorced or separated. And then we as children got punished for it, basically. Because we don't care about you either. And that's one of the reasons why, well, that's not one of the reasons why, but that is a reason why I haven't spoken with my father in a long time. Because I brought a lot of the stuff up on the net to him and asked him why. And I couldn't even get a manly response of, hey, I'm sorry. That time in my life, I couldn't do it. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't get that response. I got the, I don't know what you're talking about. You know, so that was like he basically dismissed it all or dismissed everything I was saying, and it's hard to do that when you've got brothers that can attest to it as well. So
Right.
yeah, we were very very bad back then. We were like 8 and 9, and we were stealing candy bars from Kroger's. We were doing all kinds of crazy stuff. I mean, we got ran out of trash cans that were behind the grocery store. Uh, we caught some of California on fire. We got a lot of stories, man. We were using a magnify, or we were using a bottle, or no, I'm sorry, we were using my brother's glasses, and we started a fire with his glasses. It wasn't intended to be a big fire, and it turned into a big fire, and had like 3 fire trucks out there. So yeah, we did some bad stuff. Never got caught. We got pulled over for Jay. We got pulled over for Jay. Oh man, are you still recording?
Yeah.
Will? Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. So yeah, you can reinvent these back to me once you go through this because I want to tell some of these stories.
Oh, you're telling them now.
I know, but I want to go in depth with them and explain them.
Do it.
But right now, I'm just kind of gathering memories because it wasn't all rainbows and ponytails, you know. My life was not easy. It wasn't. But it wasn't hard either. My life was a lot of figuring it out on my own and using my brother's expertise to kind of get me along the way. So, yeah, it's pretty interesting just to sit back and because I've spoke of all this before. My brothers and I, we all sit around and laugh about it now. But back then it wasn't funny. It was like, I mean, we laugh about it, but at the same time we're disgusted by the fact that it even happened. We had no supervision when we were in California. My mother was actually in. Uh, she'd moved to she'd moved to Texas. She took us with her, but that's a whole other story. We're gonna have to get into that too. I don't want to talk about that right now. I want to make sure that if I talk about it, I've already got the blessing from my mother that it's okay to talk about it. So I've got to get some approval on what I'm talking about. But from my side, I don't need no approval. I'll lay it all out on the table, and you guys will get to see the inside of Joe and how he became successful. I mean, I'm a very successful person. You know, I've accomplished a lot in my life, and I'm not done. I'm still trying to accomplish, and I want to do everything to the best of my ability because of all those lessons and hard times I've dealt with. So I have a lot of people to thank for that. There's just too many people to thank. A lot of people helped me along the way, showed me what right looked like, and I appreciate that. Very, very appreciative of them allowing me or affording me that opportunity to understand what right looks like. Because some of the things we were doing, I didn't think were wrong. I was a kid. I didn't know. Is there a book to be a kid? If there is, I missed that book. I must not have got that at the, when they sell the books at the school.
Right.
With the book, yeah, I must not have found that book. But then again, I didn't have any money when that was going on, anyways, because hell, we barely had enough to eat, you know. So I was the guy that was like, dang, man, I can't even get money for this. That's coming. That's all. I'm giving you guys an insight of what's coming. But if you can interact with me, Will, and kind of throw some of those questions back at me,
Yeah. Well, that's
that'll spur those ideas, and I'll be able to run the whole story out.
absolutely.
That's why I wanted to call you back because I wanted to finish the one with James. I still talk to James to this day. He's an awesome guy. I just sent a letter to his son. His name is Ty. Ty, how are you? Just an awesome kid. He sent me a letter. So I sent him a letter back.
That's
Old
awesome.
school. Slow mail.
Yeah.
Snail mail. That's
Yeah.
pretty neat, you know. So, yeah, it's nice to be able to reconnect with people and know that you have a buddy out there. I've always got a buddy. If I need something, I'm sure James will jump on the first plane or figure out how to help me if I really needed help. And then I got all my family. So, and then I got people like you. You know, I got a Stout. I've got Evans. I've got so many Kirkendalls. You know, I've got so many people I can reach out to and be like, look, man, I need some help. The Bainies. You know, there's so many people with labels, name, and uh, it's hard. It's hard to. Hell, as I get older, I start forgetting names, but I remember faces. I don't know what it is. I have like my mind is full of faces and no names, but I got it on the tip of my tongue. I promise you. I'm trying to figure it out. But yeah, let's end this one. Let's end this one. I want to cap this one off. Thanks for joining us and allowing me to entertain you or bore you or whatever
I love it.
to get a look into my life. And I know it's a little scatterbrained, but I think as I start seeing it progress, I'll be able to jump on board and keep going with it. And I'll have another set of stories to tell. But yeah, it's going to start going pretty fluid. The more I think about it, the more I want to share some of these ideas and some of these experiences I've had. Just to know that, hey, you know, I'm going to help somebody else out. Because you know what? As a kid, you really have no control. You're in control of yourself. And when you become an adult, that's when you get to make those decisions or choose not to make those decisions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think this could be a interesting. I might start thinking about writing a book, but I want to do this first to see how it plays out. But I have been thinking about putting it together with my brothers, our experiences, some of our laughs and some of our hard times and our failures, and just show everybody that, you know, we are human. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody does bad. Everybody does good. But at a certain point, you can choose to be bad or you can choose to be good, right?
Yeah, in a way, I think that there's a lot. In a lot of cases, we do have some choice.
Yeah. And that's where I'm trying to show people, hey, there's a time when all that can change and you could become a successful person and be productive in society, so to speak. You don't even have to be successful. You just be productive. You know,
Right.
we're not asking for everything. You don't need to be the superhero. We just want you to be the best that you can be, because that's the only way we're going to get better. That's the only way we're going to improve. So I enjoy talking about this stuff. I really do. Some of it I just want to make sure I get the facts straight before I spill that story, because I want to make sure I'm talking about the right people in the right place. It's not just me, because, you know, a lot of it was me following the leader. I was following my big brother, and I respect him 100% today. I respect everything he does, everything he says. That don't mean I have to agree with it. I respect it. But for the most part, hey man, it's brotherly love. We dealt with something together, and we survived. You know, still doing it. Still in it to win it. So let's go ahead and close this one out. And I want to thank everybody for dropping in and listening to my, what do we call this, an autobiography maybe? Or a podcast of my life? Or the Karate Kid? Or you can call it anything you want. But it's real accounts of Joe Benson's life to this point. And it gets juicy. It gets exciting. I promise. Have a great one, guys.
Love you, man. Bye.
Love you too, brother.